Hey there, friends. My name is Matthew. I'm the C-sharp artisan, and this is the fourth video in my series on human factors. And in these videos, we've been exploring human psychology and seeing how it interacts with the world of being a computer programmer. And this morning, I woke up thinking a little bit about rivalries. Now, are you a sports fan? Maybe over the years, you've paid attention to some of the great sports rivalries like Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird. Or perhaps you know about Roger Federer versus Rafael Nadal. Or maybe you're a student of history and you know some of the older rivalries like Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier. That was an amazing one. And there are many, many others. I mean, let's think of some other important rivalries. You've got Wimbledon versus Arsenal. You've got Duke versus UNC. The elves versus the dwarves. Coke versus Pepsi. Chocolate versus peanut butter. And of course, we can't forget Mac versus PC. But as important as these rivalries are, I'm here to tell you that none of them are likely to shape the future of humanity. But there is one rivalry that really might influence the future of civilization. And that's the rivalry between devs and QAs. That's right, devs versus QAs. It has a huge impact on our future. Now, of course, I'm having a little fun with this. I mean, to be fair, chocolate versus peanut butter is pretty important for our future. But understanding the psychology of developers and the psychology of QAs and how they kind of contrast and work together, I think it's really interesting and important. And actually, it can help you be a better programmer or a better QA, if that's your role, if we think a little bit about the psychology involved. So let me ask a question. If I say the word developer, what comes to mind? What picture do you get? Maybe you imagine someone like this. Here's our stereotypical developer, maybe kind of quiet and hardworking, possibly introverted, focused on the code and not necessarily on other people. I think this is a total misconception. When I think of the stereotype of a developer, what I imagine is this. That's right. A nice, friendly puppy who just wants to be patted on the head and told, good boy. So really, Matthew, what are you talking about here? Well, in my experience of myself, and also many of the programmers I've worked with, a lot of us really, at heart, we're people pleasers. We want to do a good job. We want to make other people happy with our work, and we want to receive the reward, basically be patted on the head and told, good boy. Now, go write some more code. So when you understand this about a developer, you can understand some of the motivation and maybe fragility as well of the programmer ego. Because programmers don't always take well to criticism. It can be more crushing maybe than it should be. And also, I really do feel like programmers respond quite well to rewards and positive reinforcement. So there's my stereotype of the developer who is a people pleaser. Now, what about QAs? Imagine the stereotypical QA. Maybe you imagine someone like this. She looks very friendly, and AI almost got her number of fingers correct, so that's pretty good. And look, she's been going through the test, she found a bug, and she even took the time to call you. She's got a smile on her face. She just wants to help, and she just wants to make the product better. No. The best QAs that I've worked with are nothing like this. This is my ideal QA. She basically is a sadist. She wants to hurt you. She wants to prove that you are not as smart as you think you are and just take you down a peg. She really, really, really doesn't mind causing pain. Now, she does care about the quality of the product, but to me, a good QA really isn't interested about making anybody feel better. not worried about egos, worried about getting it right. So again, I'm having a little fun here. I'm exaggerating, but I think this contrast in personalities between people pleasers and sadists really does capture the dynamic between developers and QAs. And if done right and managed correctly, it is an incredibly creative and productive rivalry. Great software comes out of the tension between these two perspectives. So I've introduced a new word there, perspective, and the reality is that many of us actually are in both roles from time to time. When you're a programmer, you have to be creative and really think open-mindedly and do your best and come up with great code. But then maybe you have to put on your QA hat and look really critically at your own code and not be afraid to be a really harsh critic of your own work. And similarly, if you're a QA tester, there is a part of it which really has to do with understanding the customer and what they're trying to achieve and what's really going to work. And then, of course, you have to apply a very disciplined, hard-nosed attitude towards that. So if you take these two together, it really does produce something wonderful. And I will take a hard-edged QA over a softie any time of the year. So for those of you who are QAs, I would say, don't be afraid to be a little mean, but do be aware that some of us programmers are a little bit fragile and we like to be praised and told we're doing a good job. So as we do this work, we just have to remember not to make it personal. It's all about just trying to get the best work done. Okay, well, there you have my fun psychology on devs versus QAs. Hope that helps. Hey there, C# friends. Are you enjoying these videos and finding them helpful? I hope so. And if you are, please go ahead and like the video on YouTube. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and feel free to leave a comment. I would love to hear from you.